Hi everybody, welcome back to the Northeast Airfield and my little testing ground that I use to try out different things, because of course yesterday on the 27th of August 2023 the DayZ devs announced that the experimental servers for update 1.22 had gone live, and so we're going to be checking out the new items that we're going to be getting with that particular update. If you want to check out the update already on Xbox, you just need to have the experimental version of DayZ installed. So just go to the Xbox store, search for DayZ, and normally the experimental will come up, or just search for experimental. And on PC, you'll have it already in the Steam library. So just download it, fire it up, and you can help the devs, especially if you report any problems on their feedback tracker. Now, this update 1.22 is really more about bug fixes and things like that, rather than new things that have come to the game. Because basically we've got a lot of new bags that have come into the game, which is nice. You know, I'm not going to complain. And what I like about it is the fact that it's going to make characters look different on vanilla and lightly modded servers anyway, because it means that not everybody's going to be running around with a mountain bag or a military bag, because not only are they spawning in all these extra types of smaller bags, but they're going to be reducing the quantity of bigger bags as well. So inventory management is something you're going to really want to think about. So what have we got? So let's have a look. So we've now got these sling bags. Here we go. Look at these. So these go over one shoulder. Well, I tell you what we should do. We should be quite clever about this, shouldn't we? Let me take off my lovely assault bag, and let's put one of these on, and let's have a look. Sling bag, 30 slots. Nice, yes. And comes in various versions. We've got the black version. There is the is that grey version, is it? And there's another version that's fallen into the floor, which I think is brown. Then we get these pouches. These look quite cool, actually. So we can, yeah, I quite like the look of that. It would be nice if you could have more than one on at the same time, wouldn't it? Because I'd imagine in the apocalypse, if you found like a couple of duffel bags, you know, bags that have straps on, you know, you'd put one over one shoulder, one over another shoulder, wouldn't you? Or you'd cross them over because you'd want to carry your stuff with you. So that's cool. So let's take off. Where is it? Let's take off that one. Let's put on one of these bags. Let's see what it's got. Army pouch has 35 slots. Alright, cool. How does my character look with it on? Can we see it? Oh, there it is. You can just see it hanging off the back of my character. In fact, if I go into the inventory screen, turn around, you can see it. In fact, let's drop my gun. You see it better. Yeah, very, very subtle. I'm all for this sort of more subtleness in DayZ. Then we get. Have we talked about? No, right. So we've got canvas bags now. These come in different flavours. There's a medical one, like that. Very nice. Then we get these little duffel bags. Let's put one of these duffel bags on. Let's drop that. Which one's a duffel bag? A canvas bag, leather bag. Stop moving. Stop moving. Let's put it on. So leather duffel bag has 35 slots. Let's have a look at it. Looks like a Billingham camera bag. Let's have a look. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. And then we have oh dear me. Then we have the hip packs, which you can wear along with your existing bag. So I quite like this, the fact that there it is. So you can just put 6 in there. So very small, but I don't know, could you fit like a pistol in there or something? Or you could fit your meds in there. And of course they had to, let's go over there a bit more. They had to have this, I can only describe this as a Barbie one. This is something that Ken would wear, and little Barbie. Very nice. Party animal. Very cool. Okay, and we've also... Alright, okay, so these are the other leather duffel bags because they fell into the floor. Just want to spawn them in as well. And now, this is quite cool, actually. So, you know early game when you're running along the coast on Chernarus and you find all these dry sacks and you're like, oh, God, what am I going to do with these? Well, what you can do now is, if you find one of these and you find a rope and combine them, you can craft a dry sack bag, which is very useful. Because it gives you a reason to pick one up. And often there's rope at the coast as well, isn't there, in those little boats or in sheds and things. So now we have a dry sack combined with the rope. And you can take it apart as well. There it is. Let's take off that. And let's put that on. How do we look? Very stylish there as well. There's also the fingerless gloves in white have come back into the game, or been put into the game, which is good. And apparently the animation for heat packs has changed. So let's do one in third person first, and the noise, let's see. Okay, I don't really notice anything, to be honest. Let's do one in first person. Oh yeah, I think that might be different, mightn't it? There we go. Now, I'm also in the tent with the melee weapons because there's also been a balancing pass on the way that weapons work in terms of whether they deal blunt trauma, so shock damage, or they deal cutting damage, like the sword versus the mace. And also different types of, when you're using a tool as a weapon, like a screwdriver or a spade, they're going to work differently. So the idea is going to be that sharper weapons will deal more cutting damage, and blunt weapons will deal more shock damage. Also, and I thought there was a thing already, but apparently it's not, they've changed it also so that what you are wearing will make a bigger difference to whether you end up with a cut as well, or shock. So the idea is that if you're wearing chainmail, I guess, you'll be a lot less likely to come out of an encounter with someone who's using a sharp weapon, or zombies, for example, who are scratching you with their hands as they do, and they're very dirty nails because you get infected. You'll be less likely to come out with a bleed, so you'll be more likely to survive that way. Right, so there we go. So that's what's coming with the next update. Live on the experimental servers now. We'll be coming live to public servers and PlayStation probably in about a month's time. That's how long it normally takes. And I will put the patch notes and the blog post in the links in the description below this video. Again, it's more of a bug fix past this one. Sometimes people get very upset. They but you've got to remember DayZ is very old now, and I say this in almost every single one of my update videos, and I'll say it again now. You've got to think, if you were the head of Bohemia Interactive, or one of the decision makers at Bohemia Interactive, and you've got a limited amount of resources, haven't you? You've got a limited amount of budget to do what you need to do. We know that Armour 4 is in development through Armour Reforger. Well, we've got Armour Reforger being developed and Armour 4 being developed at the same time. We know they've got their other games as well. And we know that DayZ 2, or the next version of DayZ, will be on the new engine, the new Armour Reforger Armour 4 engine. It will be, they'll want to release another version of DayZ so that they can charge us another 30 quid for it, and so we get the better engine. So if that was the case, and so undoubtedly somebody is probably working at least on concepts for the next iteration of DayZ, what would you rather do? Would you rather spend resources and time updating an old game and keeping that going, or working on the new version, the new better version of that game? And I think it's good that the Bohemia Interactive, they're still keeping DayZ going, and we're getting little updates, we get lots of bug fixes, that sort of thing. But you'd be saying, okay, well, you five guys and girls, you keep on working on old DayZ. Let's get you people, let's get working on the new version of DayZ. Because I want new DayZ sooner rather than later. If it means sacrificing DayZ, what we have now, just being what it is, for the next year or so, I'm fine with that. I love DayZ. I think it's great. And then what that will also mean is that DayZ, the next DayZ, when it's running on the Enforger engine, it will be, it will run better, so it will be next gen consoles only as well. So undoubtedly, the way that I think it'll happen is I think there will be a DayZ 2. Whether they'll call it DayZ 2, I don't know. And I think it will be released after Armour 4 or round about the same time. But I think they will keep the old DayZ going. What I think will happen is you'll have, with Armour, you'll have what they call the Armour platform, which is how they describe Armour now. So the Armour platform is Armour 3, Armour Reforged, will be Armour 4, and I guess Armour 2 as well. And when Armour 4 comes out, it's not like they're going to stop supporting Armour 3, because there's so many mods for it, and there's millions of people have bought it, and tens of thousands of people still play it every day. So they'll keep supporting that, and that'll happen for DayZ as well, because undoubtedly the next DayZ will not work on old consoles. So they're going to keep supporting DayZ, but there'll be DayZ, SA, DayZ standalone, I guess, like what this is now, and then we'll have DayZ 2. And they'll sort of be there in parallel. So while we're getting helicopters on DayZ 2 on console, DayZ, the original, obviously won't get it. But there we go. So a nice little update, fixing bugs. I'll put the patch notes link in the description below this video. What do you think, though? Put your comments and ideas down below. If you've enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. And I will, of course, see you again soon.